My grandmother was brought up in Hula Kapu, so she was the one that we get all of our hula from. Hula Kapu is when you get educated subliminally into your field, which is what is that subliminally? The teacher comes into the dream and teaches you to dance. So there's a pureness about the presentation of the dance.
I think one of the neat things about hula, it teaches a lot of respect, teaches honor, it teaches discipline, and those things, are really beneficial for anyone. As for Kuha'o, I think that he has embraced that wholeheartedly, and that just makes a much better person.
As soon as he started hula, he understood discipline. That's the one thing that he got from me.
I think one of the main qualities that I get from my mom is the way that she uses foreign influences to help her create. She loves samurai movies. And she always loves the storyline of samurai movies. And so she would always look at how kimonos and how the Japanese samurai setup or their regalia looked. And so I really liked how that influenced her as far as coming up with costuming for hula. And so I liked her ideas of going out to find inspiration and then coming back and applying it on her traditional medium.
We get so much out of the culture and out of tradition, and I think that that's what I appreciate more than anything else is his adherence to the tradition, but pushing that envelope to the modern and being that perfect bridge. That, I think, is the neatest thing that I see, is that he has the melding of both of us and all the teachings and his foot right in the modern world.
Probably the main quality that I learned from my dad, probably to be a good man. And I can't really expand on that because there's so many different aspects of that, but that'd probably be the one thing I'd picked up from him.
When you're born into a hula family, either you have a choice or you don't have a choice. And most times you don't have a choice. And you have to own it in order for you to have it.
Hula definitely brought an unquestionable level of discipline. And since it was a tradition, you never questioned it. And you never was like, why I got to do that or something. So you just kind of did it and told yourself that maybe later I'll understand it. And majority of the time, like a couple years down the road, you understand why you needed that certain discipline. And I think that unquestionable builds a certain rapport in between you and the tradition, and it also builds up a certain level of respect for that tradition. And I think having that level of respect for the tradition, but also the savvy amount of knowing how to use technology and molding that together, I think is the point where I try and sit in.
We definitely express ourselves, our hula, our experiences in the discipline through our designs.
The Halau is doing a collaboration with 26 Kappa artists in the state. They're providing for us pa'us made out of tapa that they've pounded for the last year and a half. I'm going to get to tie all of it onto the dancers come Merry Monarch time.
The time that it takes to create this bark cloth from a narrow strip and then pounded wide, and then another one is added to that so that you have this width, and then you have this length of fabric. And so that's just one step when they grow it. And then when they pound it is another step. And then when they start to decorate it is a whole nother step. So as a wholesome activity there, and then for it to now come alive on the stage. The dancer has an incredible responsibility to activate it. See, the thing is that po'u is just not a simple skirt, but it really is the essence of the dance. And it becomes really emotional because you see something that has gone aside and left to die, really, because of the Western influences of cloth being relatively available. But to see that this determination and the artistry of these Hawaiians who have now put their life on that cloth, it's just really, truly amazing.
Basically, Merry Monarch is, as far as Zane is concerned, we normally show our new styles that come up. And spring, they usually come out during that time.
I've done my first insect, and it was the Kamehameha butterfly. And that was always a treat, wanting to do it. But I think that I wasn't ready to cut that monarch before. It was just so intricate. But yeah, one thing that people can look forward to is the Kamehameha butterfly.